Experts believe that Africa's growth and development hinges on affordable and universal digital access. With this, Google is investing $1 billion in Africa's business landscape in the next 5 years. The tech giant is extending a hand to drive investment, e-commerce, and give better internet access to users in Africa. The country director of Google South Africa, Dr. Alistar Makouna, was speaking with GBCNEWS Clara Mlano on the sidelines of the 6th Nation Brand Forum in Johannesburg.
How can the internet become more profitable to a continent of about 1 billion people whose internet penetration level is still low? The world today literally revolves around technology, and near impossible for many to imagine a life without internet connectivity. The COVID-19 period was a typical moment of when the internet became home to many, with new businesses birthed and e-commerce rising sharply. With the African Union's goal of connecting every individual and government in Africa by 2030, Google's $1 billion initiative is timely.
We've given a nod to Africa's business opportunity, to Africa's viability as an investment opportunity. Now that signals that big multinationals have confidence in Africa's growth. What we will do with this investment, which is about infrastructure spend, is that we will bring faster, cheaper, reliable internet access to the continent. So the subsea Equiano cable that we announced came all the way from the Atlantic coast of Africa. It landed in Togo, it landed in Nigeria, it landed in Namibia, and landed recently in Cape Town, connecting the continent.
Storage is also to become easier with the introduction of the Google Cloud region,
which means we're bringing cloud services closer to the African continent. And those will be connected by 4 interconnect sites in Nairobi, in Lagos, in Cape Town, in Johannesburg, giving us full-scale cloud capability on the continent. Now you might ask yourself, what will they do for the end user, for the average person in the street? Your user experience on the internet is determined by internet access, internet speed, bandwidth, capacity, and all of that. And cloud is a big storage enabler of all of that, right? So even with e-commerce growing on the continent, fintech growing on the continent, all these developers across the continent that are trying to create jobs rely on this infrastructure spend.
According to the World Bank, a 10% increase in internet penetration could translate to a 2.5% increase in gross domestic product in Africa.
And also we know that Africa's economy is driven by entrepreneurs and small business. So that's why we've launched the Africa Investment Fund, which is a $50 million fund to power small business across the continent. We've also introduced the Black Founders Fund, Google Startups Black Founders Fund, which is a $4 million fund that's also gone out to recipients, again, pushing small businesses into the mainstream of the economy. And we also know that small businesses require access to markets. So we've got a product called Market Finder, which connects small businesses anywhere on the continent to markets around the world.
Google estimates that 300 million users will join the internet spectrum in the next 8 years in Africa, and it is taking the bold step to put the infrastructure in place to meet the huge surge in demand. Clara Mlano, GBC News, Johannesburg, South Africa.